Hello and welcome back to my podcast that still doesn't have a name. It could be named I should have picked a different color. The name could be I'm off gauge. There's a lot of different names this podcast could have, but at the moment we'll just keep it nameless. If you're new here, my name is Stina. I am a 31-year-old knitter from Norway. I am currently on maternity leave, although that is actually coming to an end, which is kind of bizarre. I've been home for so long, almost a year. Not a year, but like 8-9 months, something like that. And going back to work kind of scares me. I don't really remember what I'm doing at work at the moment. So that will be a new adventure. But the baby will be taken care of by her father until the summer, and then she will be starting kindergarten in the fall. In this podcast, I share my finished objects, my knitting, what I'm working on, some plans, yarn, acquisitions, all of those wonderful things. And thank you so much for everyone who is watching. Please tell me what you're working on in the comments. I hope you're working on something fun. I hope you have a nice cup of tea or coffee or whatever you enjoy drinking while watching podcasts. I know there's a lot of new people. I can see from the statistics that there are a lot of new people that's not Norwegian. I think like almost 40% is non-Norwegians at this point. So please leave a comment and tell me from where in the world you are watching. I would really like to know. And I always love getting to know new knitters from everywhere. I will start sharing my finished objects. I have one garment and that is the one that I am wearing. This is my Christmas cast on and it is the Monday sweater by Petiteknit. So quite a basic raglan sweater with a lot of nice finishings. And I made this in hand-dyed yarn from Lille Rilla in one of her advent colors that is called Rosemary. And I held it with a strand of Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in the color forest green, I believe. The mohair kind of mutes the color a bit, which I think suits me better than like a bright green. The rosemary is kind of brighter. I don't have the skein with me at the moment, but it's kind of like this, but a tad brighter, and then you have the mohair that just softens everything a little bit, which I think suits me a lot better. And yeah, I'm just really happy with this. And for those of you who's been watching my podcast knows that I have had a lot of shit knits the last year. I've been off gauge. I've been choosing the wrong colors. Everything has been kind of like, yeah, not that good. So to actually be happy with a project, yeah, that's kind of rare nowadays. Also, I'm really sorry if you can hear my dishwasher in the background. I kind of just have to... I'll go turn it off so we don't have that issue. It might be really annoying, I don't know. I'll just pop it back on when I'm finished with the video. Now, I knit the sweater on 3.5mm needles to get the correct gauge. I was measuring during the knitting and I was on gauge, which is also rare for me. But when I was measuring like the circumference, it seemed that it would be a lot smaller than the pattern is supposed to be. I knit a size small, which would give me a circumference of 116 centimeters, which is kind of like, I think, the least amount of circumference I would like. It's the least amount of positive ease I would like for a sweater that's not supposed to be like completely tight, but I didn't want it too oversized, but at the same time you don't want it to be too small. I wanted to like that it would hang off my body and not like cinch in too much, so I was kind of nervous about that. But when I finished, I stretched it out like a lot on the blocking mat. I think I measured it to 60 centimeters across. So when it was dry, it shrunk back a little bit and became the perfect 116 centimeters, which is a miracle. This is also superwash merino, which means it should grow a little bit, and I think that is fine, and that is also why I left the sleeves a little bit short. I didn't block the sleeves or pull on them at at all. I just blocked like the sleeves until here to get some more room in the top. And then I'll wear it for a while and see if the arms kind of grow a little bit by themselves. And if they don't, I will go back and reblock this to give it a bit more length in the arms, because the yarn is still quite stretchy. I can stretch it out a lot. So yeah, I would like a little bit more length in the sleeves, but I often roll them up anyway, so you wouldn't like notice that they are a little bit short. I like to wear my sweaters like almost like a t-shirt when I'm inside, so I don't think it's that noticeable. I'm also quite happy that I chose to do a raglan with this yarn, because it does stripe a little bit. I did alternate the skeins, doing helical knitting all the way on the entire piece. I started the helical knitting after the short rows. I did not do helical knitting for the ribs. I just knit with one skein just to make everything a bit easier, and I don't think you can really see a lot of pooling or anything in the ribs sections. So yeah, I did helical knitting, and that did give me a bit of stripy effect. I was kind of worried that it would be too camo-like, but I think I can get away with it. But yeah, I'm happy I did a raglan, because if I had done like a pickup sleeve or a set-in sleeve or anything like that, I feel like I would have stripes going this way on the body and then like really heavy on this way. But on the raglan, everything is in the same direction when you have your arms down, obviously, not when you have them out. But yeah, I think that makes for like a softer look on the sweater, and maybe makes the striping a bit less noticeable. Yeah, I'm really happy with this piece. I cropped it just a little bit to be able to wear it with my high-waist pants and skirts, and also to accommodate for any growth that might happen later. So if it grows like a centimeter or even 2 in the length, it will be okay. It still won't be like too big. I'm really happy with the yarn. I'm really happy with the color. I'm really happy with choosing such a simple pattern. I might do a Monday sweater again, because I just really enjoy the look of it. I did a beige Monday sweater last Christmas as my Christmas cast on, but I actually ended up selling it now, because I had only worn it like 2 or 3 times this entire year. It was just sitting there. And also I did this color analysis. I don't know if you saw that video, but I got my result back and I figured out that I am a true summer, which makes completely sense, because I find that beiges, camels, browns, creamy whites just doesn't look right on me. And I've been thinking this for quite a while now. And decided to get a color analysis just to get to the bottom of this issue I'm having with a lot of my color choices, and just to get some new ideas for colors, because I really want to knit with more colors, but I don't really know where to begin. So yeah, I got the result back, and it turns out I'm a true summer, which means any color outside of the summer palette will look really bad on me, just to simplify. If you are like one subgroup of there are 4 color seasons. Let's just run through it really quickly. There's 4 color seasons. Each color season has 3 subgroups. If you are part of one of the subgroups, you are able to borrow colors from neighboring subgroups, even if they are in a different color season. So for instance, a bright winter will be able to borrow from bright spring, although they have a warm undertone. A soft summer would be able to borrow from soft autumn, even if they are a different undertone. But if you are a true summer or any true season, you really won't look good in any other colors. So, you know, a soft summer would get away with wearing some of the beiges, some of like the warmer colors. But for me, who is a true summer, it just doesn't look good at all. And I've been feeling this for a long time, and finally knowing the reason why just helps me so much. And it helped me decide to actually just sell off those pieces that I wasn't wearing anymore. That was kind of getting too small anyway after childbirth and the whole ordeal about that. So yeah, I got some more money in, really helped my my economy, my yarn economy. So yeah, that's the long story short. If you are interested in color analysis at all, go watch my other video where I go more in depth about it. Now over to more of my finished pieces. The sweater is the only finished garment, but I have a few smaller pieces. I'll start with the ones that I made for myself. The first is this weekend hat. This is a pattern by Petiteknit, and I did it in Lille Highland wool and knitting for olive soft silk mohair. The color is from Lille's Halloween collection. I got some of the Halloween yarn on sale because she had some left over, and I really enjoy this yarn base. I have been wearing this hat a lot and I find it doesn't really scratch my ears at all, which is kind of unlike me because my ears are really sensitive. I opted to do it with one fold instead of two because I found when I did two folds last year, it just was kind of big and kind of too warm for the winter in the city. And I have recently just reblocked this because the first time I blocked it, I found that the fold was a bit too short. It was like sliding down in my eyes, which I don't like. But I think this is a much better fit, and that it won't like come down too much and I won't have to adjust it, keep adjusting it all the time. I really enjoy the color. Purples have been growing on me for the last few months, and I really wanted to make something for myself in purple. So now I have a purple hat. The next I made for myself are these green and grey mittens. These are traditional Selbu mittens that I made from a booklet that Rauma released last fall. They are done in Rauma finull. I don't remember, I think it's like forest green and like the lightest grey. And I just think they are really beautiful. I did these on magic loop on 3mm needles, and they are giving Slytherin vibes. And I think they really go really well with my new sweater. So yeah, I love them. I have been wearing them a lot. These are quite tight mittens. I chose to not size up the needles for the color work because I wanted a really tight fit, which would give me a good grip on the pram and just be easy to wear. I don't like when my mittens are like big and slouchy when I'm in the city or walking the dog or anything, when you have to hold the leash. So these are perfect for me. If you wanted bigger mitten, you could do the men's size, or you could size up like 0.5 millimeter on the needles. I blocked these with the help of my mom. My mom is so good at blocking color work, and I asked how on earth do you do it, and she told me, which I kind of should have understood myself, that you have to steam block it with an iron on both the outside and the inside. So I did the outside first, and then I flipped it and did the inside, and the result is just so amazing and flat and even. And I will be doing this for all of my color work from now on because that was just amazing. I did wet block this on the mat first just to get some more room like in the top up here. And then when it was almost dry, I gave it a good steam. You just put it on like your ironing board, and you do have to use like a wet, like a really thin cloth. I used like a muslin cloth that you use with babies. I have loads of those. You just wet it so it's slightly damp, put it on top, and then just press down with your iron and steam, and it works so well. And yeah, I will be wearing these a ton, and they were actually quite quick to knit up as well because for the main portion it's only 48 stitches. So it kind of flew by. It only took a few evenings to finish a pair of mittens. So there would be also a quite impressive gift knit, I believe. I found that these went by much faster than a pair of socks. So yeah, a perfect gift knit as well if anyone is looking for any inspiration. I will be starting Christmas gift knits soon, I think. I don't like to wait too long. This next piece is not blocked yet, but it is a simple neck warmer for my girl. I have started knitting for her kindergarten wardrobe. She needs a few bits and pieces for that. So this is the Enkel pilhals, or like a simple arrow neck. I found it quite easy to do, quite, I don't know what to say. You cast on for the neck, knit a long rib, fold it, and you knit these two sections, the back and front, back and forth, and you just sew the shoulders together, and you get this nice little neck warmer. And I think this will be really nice for wearing with sweaters or anything, inside the jackets, with a hat, you know. It's just a simple staple piece. I did it in double Sunday. I find that anything that goes on baby's skin should be in like the softest yarn possible. So double Sunday is perfect. It's also really warm. Lots of nice colors. This is the eucalyptus color, which I think is a Petiteknit color. So yeah, just a simple little thing. Then I have a pair of socks, and these are so much fun. One of my nieces complimented my blue glittery socks when we met before Christmas, and she is really into Harry Potter these days, so I wanted to make her glittery Gryffindor socks. I found that I think these would be perfect for, you know, if you're in the Gryffindor common room, just hanging around the fireplace after a game of Quidditch on this Saturday or Sunday. So I really wanted to give that vibe. It is knit in 2 strands of Sandnes sisu. The red is a color that's going out of production, so I got it kind of cheap actually, which isn't that easy to come by. And I held it with a glittery yarn that's like a polyester or something. I found this kind of tedious to do. I didn't have the most fun doing it. I opted to cut the yarn after the stripes because I didn't want to carry it around, so there was a lot of strands to weave in at the end, but the result is so cool, and I just think she will love these, so they were totally worth it. The pattern is the Sunday Socks Junior by Petiteknit. So just a simple half or like a ribbed sock, and then you do knit flat on the bottom of the leg, foot, and rib on the top. So I think these will fit because they are quite stretchy. Yeah, nothing too much to say other than that I really love the results. I think they're so cute. I did choose to go down 0.5 millimeter, so I knit this on 3.5 millimeter needles, and I'm hoping this still will fit. If not, I will have to do it all over again, which I don't really want to do because I didn't have a lot of fun making these, but you know, anything for a fellow Potterhead. Now for my current works in progress, let's start with a project you have seen before that I just want to share some. I just want to update you on it. I have to be kind of careful because I had to unscrew one of the needles because I needed it for another project. This is the Llama vest that I finally joined in the round. It does look kind of small at the moment, so I'm hoping the magic of blocking will work once again, because this is supposed to be kind of a quite oversized piece. But yeah, I am really enjoying knitting on this. It just has gone to the back of the queue because there are some other pieces I would like to finish first that I feel like I need more than this vest. But I do have a goal of completing this before like spring, so it will be ready for next fall and winter and doesn't like end up in a drawer and just gets forgotten about. But after joining in the round, I find that it's really enjoyable to knit on, and I'm not the best at reading my knit. I don't trust myself when there are cables involved, so I do have to like follow the pattern round by round. It is charted. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't charted. So I do have to read the chart, make lines for each round, and it's kind of tedious, but you know, it's okay. I am having a good time with it. I find it complex enough, but not so complex that it's intimidating, you know? And you don't twist every round, so there are like 3 rounds that's just knitting straight forward, and then there are some twists and turns here and there. But I do think this will be a really beautiful piece, and I'm envisioning it with like a shirt and a long skirt for the next holiday season. Yeah, I cast this on my birthday last year when I turned 31. So yeah, and there I dropped all of my stitches. So you know, good times. I'm knitting this in Hillesvåg Varde. Yeah, Hillesvåg Varde, which is a Norwegian yarn. It is a pelt wool yarn. So it's a quite sturdy yarn, but I won't be wearing this straight on the skin. So although it is quite sturdy and rustic, I think it will be fine because I will be wearing it with something else underneath. But I do find that this rustic yarn really shows off the cables very well and makes it a quite outstanding piece. And also because it's rustic, I don't expect it to pill a lot. I wouldn't want to do like so much work on cables and everything just for it to pill, because I don't think caring for a cabled piece that pills would be that easy, because I have like this electric pillar. Maybe if I had a comb, I should probably get a comb as well, then it would be easier. But yeah, it is going to be so beautiful, and I am so happy about it. Yeah, can't wait for it to be finished. Now, for my biggest work in progress, I am knitting the Oxford cardigan from Sandnes garn. I am doing it in grey, so it will be like a nice staple piece. I am doing it in Per Gynt and thin silk mohair from Sandnes garn. It is a kind of large drop shoulder cardigan, and I don't really have a lot of cardigans in my wardrobe, so I really wanted one, and I'll insert a picture because I do realize that this is like a big grey blob. So I'll insert a picture of what this finished piece should look like, and I'm really excited about this. I've been knitting constantly on it, and I can't wait for it to be finished. I think it will be beautiful if it turns out the way I want it to. I had no interest in knitting this big of a piece back and forth. So after I joined everything, you start in the back, knit back and forth, do some shaping, blah, 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 do the shoulders, and then you get everything on one needle. And then I picked up, or I cast on 5 extra stitches, so I would be able to steek it. So I did that just today, sewed and cut. So I do 5 extra stitches, and then you will be able to knit in the round. And before getting to the rib, and just before I got to the rib, I steeked it, cut it, and were able to try it on. And now I'm doing the rib back and forth, which means I will be able to adjust the length. And if I have to go back and rip some length back or anything like that, I will be able to, instead of doing everything in the round, because the rib, it doesn't really matter if you're going back or forth or in the round for the rib. So I chose to do it that way, and I think it will be amazing, although it doesn't look like it right now. So I'm going to zoom through the rib and do the arms, and hopefully this will be a finished piece the next time we see each other. My last work in progress, at least active work in progress, is a pair of pants. Not for me, but for my daughter. These are going to be a part of her kindergarten wardrobe, and it is from the same designer. It has like the same pattern as the neck warmer. It is the Enkel barnehagebukse, or simple kindergarten pants. It is a really enjoyable knit. It is ribbed, but the rib stitch is alternating between knits and purls every other round, which also makes it quite sturdy. It doesn't get too floppy if you want. I'm knitting this on 3mm needles in double Sunday in a purple color. It is the 5224, whatever that is called. I do see a lot of English podcasters saying that Sandnes garn doesn't have names for their yarns, but in Norwegian there are always names on the website. You have to go to the website to see what the names are. They aren't listed on like the label of the yarn. I do think they are in English as well, so if you go to the Sandnes garn website, you will be able to see the color names. I keep seeing this and I don't really understand, but they do have color names to every color they do. Yeah, so this is one of the purple ones, perfect purple or something, or just purple, light purple, I don't know. I really enjoy these pants. They are like in the middle of enjoyability of knitting. It's simple enough, so I can watch television and knit on these. So I just have them lying around whenever I need to just knit something easy. But I find them so nice to use and to wear, and I prefer these to the Williams. I have said it before and I will say it again. I do prefer these to the Williams, because this doesn't have that front piece that I find just gets in the way when baby is crawling. I find that it's too long, at least for my child who is kind of short. So if you have like a shorter child, I would really opt for these. I don't know if you can find the pattern in English, but I think it would be easy enough to understand if you did it to go through Google Translate or something like that, because it's just the number of stitches you're casting on and doing the pattern right for the right size and the split of the legs. So I don't think it would be too hard to understand. Yeah, I'll stand by that. It won't be too hard to understand, even if the pattern is in English. No, Norwegian. Let's see if we can manage to get through my acquisitions before baby wakes up. As I said, I'm nearing the end of my maternity leave, and I had a goal to get to this yarn stall called Strikkefruen that is located on Bislett here in Oslo. It is on the other side of town, so it's kind of impractical for me to get there, but I really wanted to pay them a visit before my leave was over, and I picked up a few skeins, 2 skeins of yarn, this mohair, hand-dyed mohair in the color Thunder. It was the last of the dye lot, so I got it for 20% off, and I'm planning on doing like a hat or something with it. I think it will be really cool, and holding it with like a grey strand of merino or something. I think that will be really pretty, and I think it will suit me. It's grey and green, and I do think there's some purple in here as well, like really subtle purple. I'm not sure, it kind of comes across like that to me anyways. But I really enjoyed it, and if this is a colorway they are carrying like on a permanent basis, and I enjoy the beanie I will be working up, I would definitely consider doing a full sweater, like an oversized drop shoulder something, with a grey main strand and this as a second strand. I saw that the Woolly Worker, they did something similar recently, and I think this would be a perfect a perfect mohair to try a slightly marled but subtly marled piece. So I will be making that beanie first and deciding if this is a yarn they carry on a permanent basis, as I said. I also got this mini skein that is kind of unraveling on itself, but it was so cute and unicorny and pretty and glittery. It is 60 meters of hand-dyed something. I don't really remember what the base is, probably some merino or something, I don't know. But it is does have some nylon in it, which would make it nice to use for some color work on socks or something. I will use it probably on some color work, like for my kid or anything. I just thought it was really pretty. It was sitting there on the counter. To be honest, I just couldn't resist it. Had to pick it up. I'm not in that store too often, and I don't really see mini skeins that often in Norway either. It's not that common to see a lot of hand-dyed in the commercial yarn stores around here. Like, I have 3 yarn stores in walking distance, so I'm quite spoiled, and I don't think any of them really carries a lot of hand-dyed. You will see more like commercially dyed yarn. That's more normal in Norway. So it's fun when you go somewhere that has more special yarns to just try out different things, and also kind of supporting smaller dyers, more local stores and stuff like that. My last acquisition is some different colors of double Sunday that I will be using for the kindergarten wardrobe of my daughter, as I've already mentioned. I got 3. It's a green, a blue and a purple, and I think they work really well together, so no matter what I make, everything will like fit together. And it makes me really happy that she will have more colors in her wardrobe. I think I made way too much like rusty, brown, almondy things for her when she was born, and now I really want to give her some more colors in her life, because colors are pretty. We need more colors in this dark and gloomy world, especially now that January is in its like 400th day. It's been a really long January. I can't really believe that this is the same month as we threw out the Christmas tree. I just don't understand how that is possible. But tomorrow is the 1st of February, and that gives me some hope, although it also means I am soon going back to work, which freaks me out, as I said before. So yeah, these are my last acquisitions, and I probably won't knit up all of these at once. I can get quite a lot out of, I think I have like 7 or 8 balls in total. And like this, I only needed 1 ball of yarn for. So I will be able to knit quite a lot for her in those colors, and probably even maybe a sweater from some of the leftovers. Yeah, and just making sure she will be warm also in the next winter. I wasn't really able to wrap up the podcast before the baby woke up, and now we are on our way to pick up some dinner from the grocery store. But I do hope she's looking at me really funny. I do hope you're all well wherever you are. As I said, please tell me what you're working on. Please tell me where you're watching from. It's been lovely spending half an hour with you all, and I hope you all have a really good day wherever you are, and that January hasn't been too brutal for you. And I'll see you next time. Bye!